Now for serious sky report. This is the evening sky, and you've probably noticed that after sunset, there's a really bright thing off in the eastern sky, and that's the planet Jupiter. I always encourage you to look at Jupiter through a telescope or get a telescope and look at it yourself. One of the best astrophotographers whose work we show here sometimes is a guy named Damian Peach. But I was amazed to see that he actually draws Jupiter. He comes up with incredible photographs of Jupiter, but he actually also spends the time to sketch it. And I hope that's encouraging to you. Anybody can sketch or try to sketch Jupiter. And it's very instructive to try to do that because you really start training your eye to look for very subtle details. It's kind of like they tell you sketch an egg or something. There's not much detail on it. But there actually is detail. And if you look carefully, you do see texture and stuff. It might not be obvious at first, but Jupiter's certainly very rewarding that way. And then here's a photograph. This is not by Damian Peach, but it's similar to his quality. Early in the morning, we have a number of planets, especially Mars and Saturn. And around dawn, just before dawn, they're up in the southern sky. On the 29th, the moon will join them. The moon will be right between Mars and Saturn. Mars and Saturn, of course, are rewarding objects through a telescope, too. Mars is still kind of far away, but it's going to come close to the Earth, relatively close to the Earth in late May. So already, if you get up early in the morning and have a powerful telescope, you can begin to see details. Actually, our next object is Saturn. Saturn's 10 degrees to the, or one clenched fist held at arm's length to the left of Mars, I should say. Saturn is to the left of Mars. Through any telescope, the rings are always a jaw-dropping kind of revelation if you haven't seen them before with your own eye. On Mars, the volcanoes that are on the Tharsis Ridge, which we'll hear a little bit about later, form lots of clouds, and those are quite easily visible in a telescope. They're quite easily visible bright spots around the equator of Mars. And finally, be on the lookout for some of the famous dark markings, like Syrtis Major, which is a kind of a volcanic mesa on the planet, and winds clear it of dust, so we see the darker color of the actual rock of Mars.
And our last little sky report is to say something, an actual eclipse, not a fake one like what we were talking about earlier, that happened a few weeks ago, not visible from California, but from the southern Pacific. And this is a little diagram showing you what happens during solar eclipse. The moon passes between the sun and Earth and casts a shadow on it. And here's just a cool picture actually of the eclipse passing over. Yeah, I think that's worth seeing a second time because that's just kind of cool. And
it's from a Japanese weather satellite.
Yeah. The shadow passing over.